One of the reasons our culture is especially prone to exhaustion is because of our theology of progress. Now, I say theology because we've turned it into that. Progress for us is the way we think life should be going up and to the right forever, that we should always be progressing. Progress has become our functional theology. It's what gets us out of bed in the morning. Progress is the real theology our nation was built on. And our progressive cities like Portland and San Francisco, we've turned progress into our ultimate urbanite belief system. Now, the way progress is experienced in our bodies, and if you're like, I'm not that progressive, the way that you experience progress in your bodies is this. You're always wanting to get to tomorrow. That's how we feel it in our bodies. We want to move to tomorrow because we think tomorrow will be more perfect than today. My daughter, Juniper, she's 2 years old. She doesn't like tomorrow. She only likes today. She has no concept of tomorrow yet. It's only now. She hates moving from the present into the future. She hates it. At night when we try to get her to bed, we tell her that we're going to see her tomorrow. She doesn't understand tomorrow. She only understands right now, and you're putting me to bed, and I will be in bed forever. I don't understand how tomorrow works yet. My wife read to me this post the other night from a mom who wrote, "Why do the people who want to go to bed have to put the people who don't want to go to bed to bed?" And I was like, yes, that is it. That's exactly right. But of course, we adults know better. We know about tomorrow, and typically, daily life is an obstacle in our way to progress. If we can just get to the next thing, if we can get to where our home remodel is done, or when the kids move from diapers into being potty trained, or summer vacation this year, or my job promotion, we just want to get out of here into the future. And what this means, of course, is that we work hard and long and never really rest, because our real main task is to get the heck out of here, get out of the now into the future. We can't really rest because we feel the now is a place of suffering. It's a place of tribulation. It's a place that the sooner that we get into the good and perfect future, the only way and the only place we'll ever be truly happy and at peace is the future, the better off the whole world will be. But of course, there is no place to go, because every time we finally reach the future, it vanishes into the present. This feeling drives our theology of progress. And progress has led us into our technologies. This is the internet and the mobile phone and the TikTok and the Facebook. See, since the 1950s, America foresaw the progress of the supercomputer, and people thought we would actually move from a 40-hour work week into a 30-hour work week and only work 6 months a year like the French do, like that sort of thing. Like, we'll become people who sit at cafes and smoke cigarettes all day. Like, that's where America is heading. And there was actually a huge national discussion about, like, what are we going to do when we don't work as much, when we don't need to work as much? There's even videos that talk about when the computers get to the house, and they end with this saying. I watched this one where it ends with like, "And one day you'll be able to work from home." And everybody's like, probably then like, "Woo, working from home." And we're like, don't do it, that sort of thing. What happened though? What happened? Why aren't we doing the 30-hour work week and 6 months a year? What happened is that we traded. What people used to value in the 50s, now I'm not saying that we go back there at all, but what people valued in the 50s, the cultural value was time. People wanted more time to be at home with neighbors, family, community. What happened was we traded time for money. Instead of taking that 30-hour work week and working 6 months a year, we traded that for more work and thus more money. People worked more so they can get paid more, and when people make more, they can buy more, and thus our GDP went up, and our economy was better, and our nation was stronger, and now it's our civic duty to consume and work and continue that cycle. It's our civic duty to do this. So now in our culture, people who have a lot of money but no time, we call these people rich and successful. Oh, you have no time and lots of money, you're successful. And the people who have a great deal of time but no money, we call these people poor. Or even worse, we call them lazy. Success is someone who is busy and works hard and is doing a lot of different things and making a great deal of money. So we traded time for money. So we use our time to make money, and when we're not using our time to make money, we use our time to spend money Online shopping and in real life shopping is like coming back now, and vacations and Airbnb experiences. And if we're not doing that, we live with the FOMO of the people who are doing that and posting all about it. Now, of course, we're all the way back to this idea of exhaustion and burnout. This is our cultural ethos. This is the topography of millennial generation, but our cities, we're exhausted. And a lot of us on the verge of burnout. The spiritual writer Henry Nouwen writes in his book, Reaching Out, that there was a point in his life where, quote, I was living in a very dark place, and the term burnout was a convenient psychological translation for a spiritual death. Spiritual death. This is where all this leads. We're not just exhausted, we're not just burnt out. Many of us are heading towards a spiritual death. And to all of this exhaustion and all of this burnout and all of this spiritual death, the writer of Hebrews writes, and yet there remains a rest. And yet, in the midst of all of this cultural going and working and exhaustion, there's still in front of us a rest. Let these words be like medicine, like balm, like water, and yet there remains a Sabbath rest for the people of God. Did you hear that? A Sabbath rest for the people of God? Notice, it's not just any kind of rest. It's not the rest of vacation. It's not the rest of lying on the couch and binge watching The Office. It's not the rest of that comes from an energetic flow yoga class. This is something different. This is Sabbath rest.